live today. It's Wednesday afternoon live. And we want to welcome everybody here to our channel, the Tax Sale Master channel. And, you know, what our business is people who don't pay their property taxes. Now, I can probably admit that probably everybody does not like to pay property taxes. But if we want services, police, fire department, school systems, park and recreation, the library, social events that they have in your cities, as well as other things, well, your property taxes are basically paying them. And we got to continue to pay, but there's always going to be people who don't pay. There's always going to be people who don't pay. Oh, okay, SDG. Okay, you're going to be at the breakfast tomorrow. All right, yeah. That's the one in Norwalk, right? Norwalk, I'll be over there too. The one at Chick-fil-A, I think. Chick-fil-A tomorrow morning. Matt. Tomorrow morning, I'll be over there. So, you know, the thing here that I'm amazed as I see my business here go on more and more. My business is just skyrocketing, guys. I see people struggling every day, complaining every day, but it's their choice. I was watching the soccer game briefly while I was eating, and I was looking at that, and I said, how many of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people were in that stadium watching that one game, paying that amount of money? Now, if it's on your bucket list, then it's a different story. But I don't think a lot of those people, it was on their bucket list, something that they want to do one time. And there's people here I see that they don't have the funds. They struggle all their life. That's a miserable way to live, I'll tell you that, guys. I come here on YouTube. I did my live on TikTok. So we did the live over there. We did the little clips, so that was pretty cool. We're at the mall right now, so we're not in my uniform, in my car. I have my car worked on. The lights in the back, we're not coming on at nighttime. So I have to get that looked at, and a few other items too that they weren't coming on. But you know, as time goes on more and more, is if you don't educate yourself, you don't look out for yourself, spend more time on you than at the job. That's what I heard a quote on. Spend more time on you than at your job. Oh, hello, cool. Do you think they'll pass no tax on overtime? I don't know. I don't really get into that. My situation is really just people who don't pay property taxes. There's houses, condos, land, townhomes. Everybody wants something for nothing. It's true. Everybody wants something for nothing. All this housing that we are providing to people, are they paying for housing or is it for free? Somebody has to pay it. Why do you think our cities, LA is $2 billion in debt? California, $6 billion? you'll never see a politician. Go up to a politician and ask him, have you ever been wrong? They won't. So I try to educate people more and more. And I say, stay focused on you. Grow you. Rather than dilly-dally around. Come on here on YouTube, and you can see there's people here dilly-dally around already. I can already see that. I say, you're just dilly-dally around. I said, that's why things won't change in your life. Because you haven't made a commitment and say, okay, they were saying, most people cannot make a commitment for their commitment. Think of that really hard. That's a really good quote. Most people will not make a commitment on their commitment. And that's why most people are broke. That's the fact. Right? Isn't that what they say all the time? They say that all the time, like only 3% of the population are really making good revenue. Can you grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit? I don't know what that is, sorry. Okay. So, again, we're in the education part. We teach you how to do tax liens, tax deeds. Start thinking about your life. Sometime when you go home today, really think about your life and say to yourself, are you financially secure? I see people all the time. They're crashing on friends' couches, renting a room in a house, barely able to pay their bills. Hope they don't get laid off from their job. I had a little cold Sunday. I was just knocked out. It was Sunday or Monday. And I slept all day, mostly on Sunday. And then Monday I just said, okay, I'm gonna sleep some more. Went Sunday to the doctor's. Got medication on Sunday. I didn't have to call in sick at all. Came from India. Welcome, India. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you remember him, the guy who was in Terminator, and Conan the Barbarian, and he ran for politics here in California. He basically was really saying the problem with people is we all get distracted. I get distracted. Something that triggers me, I get distracted. But if you cannot get distracted and you stay focused, then you're fine. No problem. Everything's going to be turning out good. But if you stay distracted, and there's more, right? You have social media now with all the channels, not including television, not including video games, not including radio, and newspapers and all this other stuff, billboards, and then what other stuff that distracts you. And this is why people struggle their life. That's why people struggle their life. I was telling a person the other day, one of the guys here on real estate, And I said, okay, you know, if an investor does maybe 8 deals a year, 9 deals a year, you know, he might make 50,000 or so. So he'll make $300,000, $400,000 possibly, plus or minus a little bit. And I said, you actually believe it's a lot of money? Have you ever met hedge fund guys? The guys who have all these big boats, these big mansions? Those are the ones who have big money. But they're focused. They focus on people that they can make them more money. If you can make people more money, they'll stay with you. Think about that hard. If you can make people more money, they will stay with you more. So that's it. My battery's getting low. I want to just give you this here. And appreciate you guys watching us with the Tax Deal Master right here on YouTube. Okay?